You're listening to a Soul One podcast. Okay, Father Quirk, we have you back for a very special segment because we didn't get around to it last episode. We have a couple fan questions left for you to answer.
Okay.
So we're going to do rapid fire, 3 questions for you. This is, and again, I just want to...
I'm starting to sweat.
I just want to say again, I don't think this has ever happened. You have left such an impression that you're getting questions written just to you. We'll have to do a Father Quirk mailbag episode maybe one day. Okay, so our first question is from Justine. She says, "Hi, you had me at Skip It. I wanted to address my questions to your special guest this week, Father Quirk. What's the one movie you have to watch every Halloween, no matter what?"
Oh, that's a really good one. And I would say there's not one that I do watch every Halloween, but there is one that I would watch quite frequently, which is The Haunting. So I have the original, not the substandard one, the remake.
Is Owen Wilson in that one?
Liam Neeson, yes, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. No, don't watch that one. Go back to the original, the black and white. It's wonderful. It's on at the screening room, or it will have been on at the screening room, actually. Sorry, you've missed it. Anyway, I think that's it. It's a wonderful exploration of the breakdown of Eleanor in the movie, where
that's based on The Haunting of Hill House, right?
The Haunting of it's just called The Haunting.
I always mix up with these ones because there's Hell House, The Haunting
of Hell House,
and The Haunting of Hill House.
Yes, but it's just called The Haunting.
Okay.
So
based on the book, though.
Based on the book, Shirley Jackson, and there's a big question right at the heart of it all about whether, in fact, this is her having a breakdown or whether she is actually experiencing supernatural events in the house, and it refuses to resolve that. And so that is a wonderful movie with, again, great cinematography. The sound just helps to ratchet up the tension as well. The noises in the house, and is it anyone else experiencing this or not, or is there almost a contagious hysteria going on as well? So a great movie. And so if you were going to watch any one movie, or if I were going to watch one movie over Halloween, that would be it. But I have to admit, not every year, so I'm sorry about that. Anyway, Justine, I hope that's a good answer for you.
I find that, well, number one, great answer. Number two, I find that the older I get and the more adult responsibilities I have, I can't revisit movies and series the way I did in my 20s.
Right.
Do you agree? Like, it's too busy to watch one movie every Halloween now.
Halloween, yes. I have to admit, for Christmas I will have, there's a series of movies that I have to watch at Christmas. Or rather, in Advent, of course, before Christmas. That's really when we're all watching these Christmas movies. But Halloween, yes, less so. I think as well, to be honest, if I'm... a lot of the movie, if I do watch something, though, I will go back to one that I know and love really well, as almost like a kind of comfort blanket, one of those kind of,
It used to be I would watch Buffy every year. like the whole series.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the movie.
No, not great. The TV series, but I just don't have time. And Dan said recently, oh, we should revisit Buffy, but we're doing the X-Files from the start. That's going to take us 3 years.
That's right.
Because we only get to watch like one episode every 6 weeks. It's going to take longer than 3 years at that rate.
But it certainly will. It certainly will. You know, and with the X-Files, you know what I would say there is I loved the early X-Files when you had a lot more of those supernatural ones.
Yeah.
I got really
Monster of the
tired of the aliens.
Conspiracy theory,
that's right. Area 51.
Yeah.
Aliens sticking kind of radio signals up your nose kind of thing. Oh, give me strength.
I never have watched the whole series, and I dropped off. I don't think Dan has ever watched the whole series either. I like Supernatural. Dan likes Aliens. So I can see at a point I'm going to lose interest, and his interest is going to ramp up. Right. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right. Second question. And I apologize if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Asfin. Asfin. Could be a typo. Could be someone's name. I apologize. They ask, is there a movie you can name that truly terrifies you?
Truly terrifies me. We will be doing that. I don't really want to kind of tell you in advance, too far in advance.
We're going to do
one. We're in talks about doing one later this year for Christmas. Mm-hmm. So watch this space in answer to that. I'll maybe answer a slightly different question because I don't want to give you nothing, Asfin. Which is there a movie that leaves me feeling quite low in watching it? There would be a horror movie, Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is, again, a very good movie that is about a man who has been experimented on during the Vietnam War by, I think, the CIA. He's part of a unit of soldiers that were experimented on. And it is a spiral into madness. It's depressing. It is a movie that will, make sure that you're in a good space of mind, that you've just had good news, beforehand, because you'll need that to bolster your mental well-being as you watch that movie, because it will all be wiped off by the time you've finished it. It's a really depressing movie. So how about that for it's a movie that I've watched twice in my life, and both times I've said, this is a great movie. I don't know if I want to watch it again. I watched it a second time.
Just to test your theory.
I thought the second time, no, that was good. This really was good. This really was depressing. So, yeah. How about that for an answer there? Which is a movie that
a little bit of body horror in that one.
There is a little bit. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So if you're not into body horror, don't. But also, again, and maybe I've got a bit of a theme going, which is I do quite enjoy psychological horror, and I'm not so much into the ones that lose the sense of tension through basically splashing stuff all over the place. The gore. I'm not a great fan though of body horror. The Flies, Cronenberg's The Fly. I just kind of turns my stomach. The scene with the box anyway.
I've never seen it.
So very nasty, and Cronenberg tends to do a lot of body horror as well.
He was the king of it in the 80s.
That's right. So I'm not a big fan of body horror, but that's a very good one. So the body horror is not front and center. It is just him falling away, and he's a mess. And but trying to find out what happened to him and why he keeps seeing these ghostly, terrifying figures. So that's a good one.
Speaking of CIA tests, I just saw a headline that HBO has greenlit an MK Ultra miniseries. So the Cold War, right. And I wonder. I didn't read the article. It would be, but you mentioning Jacob's Ladder made me think of it. It they're probably going to treat it like a straight historical, like kind of what they did the Chernobyl, right? That was
Right.
HBO. I
Yes.
assume it's going to be more like an expose, but wouldn't it be interesting if they filmed it in such a way that you don't, like, it's a little supernatural in that
Right.
you see the madness of and are they actually becoming telepathy? How would you just
telepathic,
yeah,
yes.
telepathic, or that would be an interesting premise.
It would be much more interesting than just going with the
The government was crooked and they
that's
were
right. That's right. And they were doing experiments on people and wasn't this terrible.
And we have a Canadian connection with
Yes, we do.
yeah.
So
We don't talk about that very often. One of our Canadian universities was the site of probably one of the more horrific
Yes.
tests. But anyways, so though I anticipate they'll treat it more like true crime
I would
than
expect
like a
so.
supernatural.
I know. I think sometimes they just want to go route one, and right now, of course, don't trust the government.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's quite a good money maker for people.
Okay, last question. This is from Synonyms, which I think is meant to be anonymous. I think it was maybe an autocorrect, or maybe that's their what do they say, nom de plume. Their
Who knows these days? Some of my children have classmates with all kinds of strange names.
yes,
So.
yeah. We always get. Oh, did you say your son's name is George? They're like, that's very nice. That's very normal.
That's right.
All right. So they write, hello or hi, Father Quirk. I find sometimes, this is an interesting question for you, the morality route.
Okay.
I find sometimes I'm rooting for the villains, not to win, but to continue in the film as long as possible because I love their performances. And I just want them to win. I love a good villain. Which horror movie villain do you secretly find yourself rooting for, or in Taylor's case, openly rooting for? Hannibal, for instance, even if it's just for more screen time. Thank you. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Why do we have to secretly root for them? Sometimes the villain is just great to see.
Right. I know, the first thing this isn't in horror, actually, but this is, and it's a terrible movie I'm going to talk about, but it's not a horror movie, and it's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Alan Rickman chews the scenery in that movie, and is the best thing about it by a country mile. In terms of, apparently I read an article about it just recently where he ad-libbed a lot of his lines, and then he had friends of his helping him to kind of spitball ideas as well for some of these lines that weren't in the script. He only took on the role because he said, I want to be able to at least play with the script a bit and ham it up. And they said yes. And there's the story, I don't know if it's true or not, that Kevin Costner, realizing he was being upstaged by Alan Rickman, had some of his scenes cut. So I don't know if that's true, but anyway.
I could see that about him, though.
There's a villain who I just...
Yeah.
You just you want to win, actually, because Kevin Costner is like a cardboard cutout. Anyway, so there's a villain that I really do root for. A villain that I enjoy, or a bad guy that I really enjoy, that I want to kind of see carry on. Let me just think about that. You remember the oh goodness, what was the name of the movie? It's Denzel Washington is in it as the detective, and you've got
Not Seven.
No. This was it's there's a character who's possessed, and he dies in an electric chair. He'd been caught by Denzel Washington, and then he keeps kind of popping back up because it turns out that actually there's a demon that's been inside of him. And
I've never heard of this movie.
And you've got this whole... maybe I'll use the magic of the internet. I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah, we do it all the time. You wouldn't know it by us fumbling, but we often are Googling what we're trying to think of. Denzel Washington, he's a detective. I'm assuming this came out in the 90s.
Yes, I think so. Let me just see.
And so
Fallen, 1998.
A good year for movies.
In which he plays a Philadelphia police detective who is investigating murders committed by an apparent copycat killer. It's got John Goodman in it, Donald Sutherland, Embeth Davidtz, James Gandolfini, and Elias Koteas.
That's a pretty stacked cast.
It really is. I'm not going to say that it's got the greatest. It's not. It's maybe not the. It's not one of the greatest movies, but it's a lot of fun, and I do actually. I love. There's a wonderful twist as well at the end of it also. So
you're rooting for the demon.
And so the demon's still there, and it's like, actually, that was pretty clever.
Right.
That was
well
was
written.
Good. That was well written, but actually also that was pretty clever. Actually, the demon's got away with it, and they keep using the Rolling Stones. Time on my mind. Time on my side. So, and that keeps coming up. So there's one where I think at the end of it all, I'm certainly not unhappy that the devil got away with kind of like carrying on to fight another day, so to speak. Oh no, spoiler. Anyway.
But only in movies. We don't want the devil to win in real life.
That's right.
I would say my answers are pretty stereotypical. People know that I love Hannibal in all of the incarnations, although I have not seen the one with Michelle Pfeiffer. They recast Jodie Foster, and I think it's just it's called, I'm pretty sure it's just Hannibal. It's the sequel to Silence of the Lambs in terms of like the books, and they've recast Jodie Foster. I didn't really care for that book, and I have not seen that movie, but I'm definitely rooting for Mads Mikkelsen's character of Hannibal in the TV.
He is excellent in that role.
He's amazing. And I'm always kind of rooting for Dracula and Nosferatu. You kind of want him to win. You want him to get the girl.
Yes. Yeah, and actually, just more generally, Frankenstein's monster. Actually,
But is he the? He's not really the villain.
Is he the villain? Okay, yes, that's true.
The scientist is
really the villain. That's right, Victor Frankenstein. But he certainly goes around killing people. Yeah,
he's not. He's morally gray.
Okay.
I will just close up with this last comment. Are you going to watch the new Frankenstein movie, the Del Toro?
I probably will, to be honest.
It's coming to Netflix. We only have to wait like 2 weeks and it'll be on Netflix.
So I probably will. I'll be making time for it. Unfortunately, my wife is not a particular fan of horror, and so this is one where I have to kind of find the time when it's just me gonna go and watch my horror movies, because she's not into
I'm the same way.
So I have to. So I will get there, but it will probably take me a little while longer, because if I went and said, hey, let's watch a horror movie tonight, and the answer will be, no, let's watch something else.
Did you get her to see Nosferatu?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's creep. That one's, I understand.
No, but she would not. No.
Yeah, not her taste. Dan only took me as a Christmas present. All right, well, thank you so much, Father Quirk. I really appreciate you doing our rapid fire questions. We love to have you on, and we'll have you back, obviously, at Christmas time, but anytime you'd like, we can talk movies. And in the meantime, go see some movies.
Thank you for listening to You Had Me at Skip It, a Soul One Arts Inc. podcast. This podcast is produced by Mike Shepard and Austin Spinner Summer. It is a project of Soul One Arts Inc. To learn more about Soul One and all the great work that Soul One is doing in the arts community, especially in film, theater, and other performing arts, visit soul1arts.ca. You can contribute to this podcast by visiting soul1arts.ca and going to the podcast tab. You'll find all the information on You Had Me at Skip It and how you can get your questions read on air each week. Thank you again for listening.